Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher Circus, and today I have a very special match to show you. Unfortunately, it's one of those matches where you're just going like, with skins like these, I can hardly even tell what the characters on screen are, but this is a match between Doubao and Colourless, both in my group stage. They were facing each other, they were both already qualified, but they wanted to put on a good show to try and win this. So the bans were Arbalist and Crusader, if I remember correctly, and Doubao was playing the exact same team she's played for the past 3 matches. This is, that's a Flagellant, Men-at-Arms, Shield, Jester, and Antiquarian team, if it's hard to tell, which it is. And Colourless is playing the Winter Bliss dots, so it's basically the same team, except you're taking a Men-at-Arms over a Shield Breaker. And the idea behind how she's playing it is that she has a Tears of the Lost Antiquarian to spam that regen, she has a Men-at-Arms to go for a Guard, to go for a Retribution, and can protect the Jester basically, while the Flagellant has Snuff and he has Suffer to clear DOT. So if you go down to a DOT war, you basically just win because you have the Suffer to clear the dots, push them onto the Flagellant, which has this 5 heals, which are just broken, and you have the Antiquarian to just do a ton of healing onto everyone. And yeah, there we go, the Suffer immediately, that Flagellant Conduit of Absolution, and with Snuff and with Suffer, so she practically only plays this when she knows she's gonna face DOT teams, because when Crusader and Arbalist are gone, what do you have left, right? You're either gonna face Stress, which this does well against you, or you're gonna face Dot. And yeah, it's facing Dot, it's facing a Winter Bliss Dot. Those Jesters actually have the exact same setup, they both have the Blood Red Coin and the Hemlock to spam those harvests, and Colourless has like a weird version of the Winter Bliss dot, because he actually has Tears of the Lost on his Antiquarian as well. He has no Monkey Spawn on his Jester, he has a Shieldbreaker without any dodge, he actually has the Net and the Viper Spear Tip on her, which is very surprising, but you know, it's good if he's trying to go for those pulls or trying to get those fights. And yeah, Antiquarian has Tears of the Lost finisher, so it's an interesting matchup for sure. And it's gonna be a close one. It's not like this is just pure AoE stress that the Men-at-Arms Guard are just gonna counter, because the Men-at-Arms Guard has to deal with that. Puncture. Puncture just brings that Jester to the front, and there can be a Festering Vapors here, but she's just trying to stay alive with the regen, trying to stay alive with that Suffer, but there is just being so much pressure over here from Colourless' side. He finally takes his foot off the pedal a bit, just to go for that Festering Vapors. I'm not exactly sure if the repulse is up even, but yeah, here Doubao goes for that Dirk Stab. She hasn't even been able to apply a bleed, so there's nothing to go off of for that Blood Red Coin, so it just misses, and there's gonna be a Dirk Stab straight into that Jester. Shep, this looks horrible. This looks horrible, but look! Rampart! Amazing! Says the comment over there on the top. This was streamed on Bilibili, so you have the translated messages from the commenters there. So yeah, a lot of them are funny. I've watched the match already, of course, because I was monitoring it, but yeah, I won't spoil the result. But yeah, here goes a Rampart from this Man-at-Arms. He also has Crush, can you believe it? Crush in top tier tournament play. Well, I mean, it's a slightly off-meta tournament, but Crush! She has Crush. Goes for the Dark Stab there with the finisher on the Jester, does not get the kill. So the Jester stays alive. She has 6 regen on him still. He's at this door. There's nothing to finale. That Jester just... he looks like he's dead in the water. A comment says, oh my god, there's even chicken. I don't know what that means. A lot of these messages are going to be hard or impossible to translate. I have no idea what chicken means. A lot of things that are translated from Chinese community to English, I already understand. Like, they call hemlock celery. I guess it looks green, right? They call Jester ugly. I have no idea why. But yeah, in terms of the match, there's gonna be an expose on that Jester. He stays alive. He survived the 50. He survived the 40. And now there's gonna be a Suffer. That's gonna clear all the DOT off of him. And he still has 9 regen. What does that mean? That means that if a punish comes through, which it does, still doesn't get the kill, failed the 50, the 40, and the 55% kills. Even if it comes through, there's gonna be 1 point of regen left to save this Jester. He immediately passes because of the affliction, you know, a little bit of justice. for Colourless for not getting any of those kills. Now he's once again scared of this man-at-arms going for another rampart. Here he's thinking, do I go Dirk Stab? Do I move forward to 1? Because if he moves forward to 1, then a rampart can happen. It's probably gonna daze him, but he's still gonna be able to finale unless another rampart happens. So he's in this interesting situation here. He does decide to move forward to 1, so that Jester stays at 1 HP, which is just enough to not get immediately oofed by Festering Vapors or anything of the likes, and the Repulse is dropped, so now Colourless can start going for more AoE abilities. That Flagellant from Doubao's side has all the healing, I think. Yeah, has 3 Exsanguinates, 2 Redeems, has the Punish, and has the Suffer. So he will eventually, and well, not eventually, very soon, now even, be able to use those Redeems, especially because he has 19 bleed, I mean 20 bleed and 19 dot. Now that's a crush for 11 damage, a crush for 11 damage, and all of a sudden, that Jester that looked to be full HP and unfinaleable has taken 2/3 of his health bar to this man-at-arms. He doesn't even need accuracy trinkets to hit that Jester because there's no Monkey's Paw, and there's a Battle Ballad from your own Jester. So he can get away with going Shield Spike and Numbing Instance for those matchups against stuns or something of the likes, or against stress, and still hit that Jester. And he's already at 11 HP. 11 HP is not that much. Knocking on 11 is such a courtesy. I'm not sure what they mean by courtesy, but did it roll for 11? Was that what happened? But yeah, 11 HP, not that much. There's going to be an immediate take cover from this Antiquarian here, staying in the finale range. Doubao knows, Doubao has been in this situation for the past 2 rounds. She knows that this Jester is pretty much doomed. She knows that he's going to die eventually, and it would be very good if she managed to get a finale out of it. She drops a Death Door here. I'm not sure what the affliction is. It seems to be -5 dodge, which is probably a selfish 7-13 against 11 HP, and rolls at 12. Rolls at 12. That's a dead Jester for Colourless' side. And now there's just going to be an Exsanguinate or Redeem here. Actually goes for the Exsanguinate, hits it because of the Battle Ballad and the lack of dodge on that Shieldbreaker. Pregnancy, this luck. I don't know what pregnancy means. Is that finale? I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Fails the bleed. A very small silver lining for Colourless here. Straight to an expose. These players, they're relentless. And yeah, here a commenter says, I feel like antiques are better at protecting me. Didn't you bring it? What he's saying is that this Antiquarian does not have to protect me, has a Nervous Stab instead. If that Antiquarian had used to protect me on the Jester, he would have had an extra 20 prot, and that prot would have definitely been enough to save him from the finale, but it just rolled high. Sometimes it just rolls high, 7-13, you get just enough. She was probably hoping for a crit finale or a really high roll on the finale. Definitely the right play. You know, you just have to go crazy when you're in a situation like this to maybe have a chance. And now that she's managed to sort of equalize the situation here, I mean, there's still 3 full HP characters on the enemy side, and your team is in shambles, but more RNG for Doubao. She gets a Virtue on that Antiquarian. I later checked, it is a powerful. Yeah, someone is saying that she should have, Colourless should have immediately stabbed the Jester to bring him down to 0 HP. That's, yeah, maybe. It's a difficult match. It's definitely a difficult match. He decided to move forward to 1, he had his reasoning, but that has resulted in his Jester dying and the enemy Jester is still alive. There's gonna be a Redeem on there, 1 Redeem and 1 Exsanguinate already used for this Flagellant, just getting through his heals very quickly. But you have to ask, where's the pressure? The pressure is coming. That Jester has moved to position 3, and that's really the biggest pressure tool out of this team that Doubao is playing. I think she calls it the ugly soldier, the soldier or the ugly veteran. It's the man-at-arms and the Jester combo, because the Chinese players name teams not like Breakfast Club, so just like a cool name for a team. They name it after the characters. So like 2 characters usually means that you're playing this kind of team. So if you're playing a man-at-arms Jester, you're probably playing this team. Moving forward 2 times will cause some damage. Directly stabbing the door will basically kill the enemy. Yeah, the chatters, they have some opinions. They want to share them. But yeah, here comes more rejuvenating vapor. Just a ton of healing coming through, trying to counter all that DOT. It might be enough. It might be enough. There is a guard on that Jester, I believe. Even the freaking icons are different. It's actually really rough to look at this. Even the icons are different. Even the targeting symbols are different. Even the move. It's very odd. It's very odd, but you know, it's all we have, and I can make do with this. I can make do with this. And yeah, here comes the harvest, and look at that pressure. That's 2 bleeds for 4 to 13, and 2 blights 2 by 2. So that's basically 2 panic darts worth of DOT just dropped on that midline. That is a lot. That is a lot of pressure. This Jester needs to die like yesterday. He's gonna be an immediate exposed. Sadly, didn't roll for just enough, so he's still at 3 HP, still at 195 stress, but how do you save him here? He's guard broken, he's dazed, there's a punish coming. I guess you can rampart, but then Festering Vapors might roll for 3. This Jester looks to be then in the water. Decides to just drop a regen here, I think? Yeah, decides to just drop a regen here. What's that thing up there says? Feeding Law birthday party. Explorers set sail. It's funny because when you go on Bilibili, those things are only just roaming up there. It's so odd, but you know, I like it. I kind of like it. And yeah, it's now a 3v3 once more. But there's a Virtue. There's a Virtue on Doubau's side, so does this actually look good? Goes for another Rampart, manages to get the push on that Flagellant, so the Shieldbreaker will have to go for an Expose if she wants to put that Flagellant back into play. But the question is, does she have the HP to do that, or does she have to go for the Serpent Soil already? There's 1 HP left on that Flagellant. Potentially a big misplay from Colourless here, not pushing the tempo, not going for Festering Vapors. There isn't even a riposte up. Not going for Festering Vapors. Maybe he didn't read the numbers, but that Flagellant stays alive, well, stays out of death's door, so he can greed and go for a punish rather than a redeem, his final redeem, or one of his remaining 2 exsanguinates. And now Colourless is in a really bad spot here because he has to go for the Serpent Sway. It will give him a bit of dodge. He's still only gonna go only gonna go up to 35, but yeah, gets a bit of dodge out of it. But how do you save your Shieldbreaker in this situation? There's a battle ballad, there's more punishes coming, and you really kind of need your Shieldbreaker here, because if that Shieldbreaker goes, then that Men-at-Arms guard stops being something you can avoid. If you go for Festering Vapors, I mean the riposte and the guard, if you go for Festering Vapors, the riposte is there. If you try to go punish on someone to focus him down, the riposte is there because he's gonna riposte and then he's gonna guard. It becomes very, very difficult to deal with this Man-at-Arms the longer the match goes on. So it doesn't get completely countered by a team that can just spray out of the AoE thing, because eventually you're gonna have to hit him. You're gonna have to hit him, and if he has a friend, he's gonna be sure to make this difficult for you. This is not a reminder of asceticism. I don't know what that means. I think the ascetic is a name for the Flagellant. I'm not sure what they mean by this is not a reminder. Can you touch the death door? The dead door? Can you touch the dead door? Yeah, they're both trying to make the opponent touch the dead door, but yeah, it's a bit difficult with all the regenning and the Serpent Sways happening. But yeah, both those Serpent Sways are already gone. It's basically over once you're dead. That's true. That's true. It's actually over once you're dead. Not just basically. It's completely over once you're dead in the Butcher Circus. You should touch the veterans. You should touch the veterans. I missed that one while looking at the match. What the fuck are they saying? This allows for redemption. Redemption is their word for the redeem. So yeah, that punish being dropped onto the Man-at-Arms makes it so a redeem is dropped there. So yeah, the Flagellant using his final redeem just to keep the rest of his team alive while consistently buying pressure to get rid of that Shieldbreaker. Who is on the other side? They're just asking who it is. It's Colourless. It's Colourless. Apparently these players are relatively friendly. They have played before, and they said after that it's always a fun match when they play together. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They're friends, and they're both qualified by the time they're playing this match, by the way. But yeah, it's mostly a friendly match, and mostly them just trying to be better than the other one. Because if yeah, okay, goes for another retribution, gets that Shieldbreaker to this door without any Serpent Sways. Tries dropping more regen, but is it enough? 80 to hit, 50 to get the kill. doesn't get it. Finally, RNG is not going Doubao's way, and because he doesn't get that, there's obviously going to be a puncture now, and that Flagel's going to go to position 3, where he's going to have to move back, because that Rampart does push the Man-at-Arms forward. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. If you're still in position 2 while you use it, then a little pull and the Flagellant is out of position. So yeah, the Shieldbreaker gets to play again, and what is she gonna go for? She's gonna go for another pull on that Antiquarian, just trying to annoy her, trying to stop this onslaught of regens. And here it kind of looks like a misplay by Doubao, because you click your Man-at-Arms here, you can't go Rampart, you just used Retribution. So what's the plan here? Retribution doesn't do 8 damage either. Guard is still not really that useful, because the Shieldbreaker just completely counters it, so that Man-at-Arms turn, kind of a waste there, but could have been like a move back twice with the Antiquarian, maybe a push on the Flagellant, try to delay the pressure, but Virtue moment, she has, what is it? She has like base 15% bleed resistance, so now she has 40% bleed resistance, and she has base 45% blight rest, so now she has 70, so she has 25% extra resistances. Yeah, all resisted, pure shipping included. I don't know what that pure shipping means, but oh well. Flagellant drops to 0 again, goes for an Exsanguinate, doesn't manage to hit it and apply it, both of which are quite lucky. But yeah, oh luck, says one of the comments. Obviously they're gonna be poorly translated, because I think it's Google Translate doing this. But yeah, it's good that Virtue has developed resistance. Very good for Doubao. This broken shield even has Sesimod in its name. No idea what that means. America, Germany, and Antiquarian. Still no idea what that means. Originally, the ascetic practice didn't include penetration. Still no idea what that means. What are you talking about? The ascetic practice. Are they talking about suffer? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, here comes another Reign of Sorrows onto that Antiquarian. Now she's at this door. She's lost a lot of her HP, but she has a potential kill here. 95 and a 50. Finally gets the kill on that Shieldbreaker after breaking through both the Serpent Sways and gets it with a crit. So now that Antiquarian is stuck in position 2 with only the Stab and the Festering Vapors and the Take Cover to use. So no more regens for Colourless. No more regens for Colourless, and his Flagellant doesn't have... Oh, goes for the 50-50, doesn't get the kill. A huge unfortunate moment. Rolls for a 6. Pretty low roll. They basically won. Yeah, after not getting that 50-50 kill, it's pretty rough. It is pretty freaking rough, because now that Antiquarian... Well, I mean, even if she's guarded, I don't know, all the redeems are gone. It decides to go for the Flagellant turn first, actually, so decides to play it safer. Goes for a 40% chance to get the kill there, basically just to ensure that now if she goes for Festering Vapors, it's pretty much a guarantee, and then it's going to be a 2v2, which he can probably win since he's way up on the Flagellant heals, and the Antiquarian can just go for a Nervous Stab, potentially. Goes for the Festering Vapors, manages to get the kill, but Jesus fucking Christ, a crit repulse for 23 because of the powerful buffs making it do so much damage, and there's an instant punish bringing that Antiquarian to death's door. She was full HP a second ago. Yeah, they're all a bit too pure. No idea what that means. There's gonna be a retribution. She stays alive though. She manages to stay alive, which is a massive relief for Colourless, because now he can go for his take cover. He can stay alive because there's not any Festering Vapors. There's no exposes because Doubao wasn't even playing a Shieldbreaker. Just feels very, very good for him here. Well, more or less very good for him here, because he's eventually going to have to come out of stealth. And when he comes out of stealth, there's no guard, there's no reclaim, there's no suffer. He's going to be dropping to this door, unless Doubao now goes for the decision to start hurting this Flagellant, because it's the only target she has left, and is that what she's going to do? Because if she hits this Flagellant, she opens up the possibility of those redeem heals, but if she doesn't hit the Flagellant, then, you know, Flagellant's gonna hit her. And of course there's a repulse over there, so not really too much of a chance you have anyway. The repulse actually hits very hard, which is a good thing for Colourless here. Okay, what are they saying? What are they doing? Not protecting the aesthetics and cosplaying as bandits? cosplaying as bandits. I'm not sure what they mean, but yeah, not pretending the aesthetics. I think he's wondering why there hasn't been a guard dropped yet, and it might be coming soon. Yeah, another retribution here just to keep that riposte up. And the man-at-arms is at 16 HP, still not enough. Here, Carlos is thinking, do I go punish? Does it roll for 16? The only way it rolls for 16, and you die immediately to like a punish or an exsanguinate, is if it crits. The powerful buffs are gone, the plus 15% damage for 4 rounds, you know, that's what the Antiquarian was doing every now and then. Those are gone, so it's never gonna roll for a crit. Rolls for 13 instead, which I'm pretty sure is like a max roll actually against the Gauntlet of Absolution. So yeah, here the Flagellant drops to 0 HP. Does he want to go for an Exsanguinate? That Antiquarian is still there. She's lurking. She has a finisher. And that Flagellant has 80% death resistance. If he goes for Exsanguinate here, it's kind of pointless because the Flagellant's just gonna drop to the sword and immediately heal, and that's one of your heals gone. So it doesn't feel good. But if you go for anything else, then you're at risk of just suffering a not a 50-50, you're at risk of suffering a 35% death blow chance. Now, is that what Colourless wants to go for? Does he want to go for the immediate 35% death blow chance? He clicks! He has 95% death blow resistance. I imagine some of it's gonna go away. He decides to click here. He can't go Festering Vapors because there's that repulse over there. Goes for the kill, 35%. Doesn't get it. The Flagellant stays alive. There's an Exsanguinate coming. 91 to hit! 91 to hit because of that snuff. 5 to kill. Doesn't get the hit. Doesn't get the heal. There could be a punish happening now on this Flagellant, but decides against it because the Antiquarian was at death's door. Decides against it, goes for the big redeem, and now there's gonna be a guard there just to try and salvage this situation. The result was good. A breath caught in my throat. That's how I was feeling when I was first watching this. So now the only way to get the kill here is with Festering Vapors because that guard is up, and you can bet your ass it's gonna stay up. That Flagellant has run out of heals. It's gonna be a Festering Vapors, doesn't get the kill, doesn't get the 50-50, and there's another crit riposte. There's another crit riposte. The Antiquarian drops to this door immediately after the redeem. There's gonna be a retribution. It's a 20% chance to get the kill. Still doesn't get it. The death blow chances are what makes or breaks this match. And this Flagellant, he's kind of pointless here. He's gonna go for a punish, gets hit with a riposte for a little bit. The man-at-arms stays alive, and now the punish. Does it get the kill? 35% chance. Doubao takes it. Doubao takes the kill on the Antiquarian, and now Colourless is in a very hard place. He still has 3 Exsanguinates, and that enemy Flagellant has no healing, but he has to break through this guard. He has to break through this man-at-arms, and he has to break through that riposte. He goes for a punish here. That's 12 bleed and 4 blight on the man-at-arms. Guess where it's gonna go? It's gonna go to the Flagellant. It's gonna go to the Flagellant that suffers such a strong ability, one that doesn't get used even near as much as it should. It completely clears the DOT, gives yourself 10% death blow resistance, which allowed Doubao to just survive against the Antiquarian. The drama is thrilling, and now, whatever this freaking Flagellant goes for, look, you just did an Exsanguinate, you did 3 points of damage, Where's your bleed for 27, your blight for 4? It's gone! It's going straight into the Flagellant, and DOT does not kill in the Butcher's Circus. Your Exsanguinate did 3 damage and it was ignored. You have 2 more Exsanguinates, but this is just gonna keep happening. And there's 13 more HP on that man-at-arms, and then you're gonna have to go through the death blow resistance too while this keeps happening. And then the punishes are gonna start coming as well, because that Flagellant is not harmless, he has punish too. So yeah, there goes another punish. Is there gonna be another suffer? Is there gonna be another suffer? Oh, it changes, decides to go for a punish here, which I think is a misplay. I think that was a little bit unnecessary, but decides to go for a punish here. Sees like, okay, this has gone far enough, let's just go for a punish. He's gonna drop to death, so he's gonna have to go Exsanguinate into the repulse. This is gonna feel good for me. So yeah, Doubao decides to do that, seeing that she probably has enough of a win chance already just in the situation that she's in. So now an Exsanguinate has to hit into repulse because of that card. So even though you started with a Shield Breaker, which breaks guards, you started with a Jester, which bypasses guards with Harvest and with Dirk Snap, even though you had the Festering Vapors to kill those guarded enemies, this man-at-arms just refused to be irrelevant. He was kind of irrelevant during the start of the match, but he went for a good command, he went for a good crush, just surprisingly winning the match on a DOT matchup. Like, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen, but it does. This man-at-arms is the MVP of this match. He made sure that the Jester did just enough damage to finale Colourless's Jester. He kind of just existed during the rest of the match, just trying to keep the team alive, trying to like agilize the situation, even though he's clearly somewhere he shouldn't be in this matchup, where Colourless can just focus anyone with that shield breaker, with all the tools that he has available to him. But now it gets to the end of the match, and there's one more suffer here because there's enough bleed on that Flagellant. Just wants to get herself more death blow resistance there. And yeah, there's gonna be another guard here just to make sure. You have to go through her pulse first. You have to go through this man-at-arms first if you want to get to the Flagellant. She stands tall and she stands proud. There's gonna be a punish. Doesn't get the kill, down to 45% death blow resistance on that Flagellant. Man-at-arms has survived 2 death store checks already. Oh, you can see the crit buff over there. It's at minus 33% stress taken. That's pretty cool. Goes for the retribution here. 55 to kill. And Colourless's Flagellant he's just incredulous. He refuses to believe that he's actually losing this match against the Man-at-Arms, even though he had Shieldbreaker. He's down to 15% death blow resistance. He's gonna go for the kill onto the Man-at-Arms, trying to take her down. He can't. And the Man-at-Arms goes for the coup de grace and takes the W. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.